I'm just going to click Snatch. I don't know what, if anything, it's going to do here, but we'll find out together. And then the nice thing is Komodo can't terrestrialize, of course. I'm going to click Calm Mind, though, with Tapu Fini. No need to rush. Okay, I didn't know Snatch worked on a teammate like that. Alright, if you've been here for a while, I think you know the drill. As I sit down to record this in early July, I have made exactly 299 videos that are up on the channel, excluding shorts and excluding stream VODs. So if you're seeing a much bigger number, because YouTube is showing you a count that includes those things, but I don't count them toward these milestones. 299 videos, it's time to make number 300. And as I did at 100 with Voltorb, and as I did at 200 with Mischievous, that means it's time for some laddering with Pokemon number 300. But there are a few problems, and problem number one is that Pokemon number 300 is Skitty, and Skitty doesn't exist in Scarlet and Violet. It got Dexited out. There's no way that I can use it in Regulation I. Side note, for anyone who doesn't know, this is the 300th video made for the channel. It will also be the 300th released, even though right now there are some uploaded that are scheduled and not yet released. I'll time that out so that it works out both ways. Anyway. Yeah, so I wasn't sure what to do about Skitty. I thought that maybe I would have to play an old single battle format or something, but actually a solution presented itself to me in that VGC 2018 is now playable on Showdown this month, July. It is one of the Ruins of Alph Spotlight... That was weird. One of the Ruins of Alph Spotlight ladders right now. I've never tried this format before. You can see it's from Generation 7. I think 2018 is Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. I could be mistaken. No, I think it must be. I've never played this format before. That's problem number 2. I first touched a VGC format in 2020. There were no Mega Evolutions then. There were no Z moves then. I've never even played a VGC format without Dexit before. Except 2013, back in January, when that was the Spotlight ladder. So, I have no idea how to build a team in this format. I have no idea how to use Skitty. I did some digging on Smogon, looking for some resources on just kind of like what the metagame looks like, so I could maybe come up with some idea for how to build a team. That kind of thing existed a little bit with 2013, but I couldn't find anything this time. Maybe I was looking in the wrong places, but I looked in a few different places, and the only resource I could find was this sample team post from actual year 2018, from Nimbasa City Post. This gives a list of sample teams, but I'm not getting... I mean, I can see what some of the top meta threats are. They're sorted by Mega Evolution, as you can see. I can see what some of the top meta threats are by scrolling through these, but... I'm not really getting much insight on how to build in this format. And so, coming up with my own Skitty gimmick and building a team around it felt a little bit too difficult here. Obviously, none of these are using Skitty. And so what I ended up doing instead is I just took the team... I just sort of scanned through this list of teams and picked the single Pokemon on a single team that I felt like I could most easily just arbitrarily replace with Skitty. So it's one of the Mega Salamence teams. It's this one right here. I have just... So the Audino knows Simple Beam, Trick Room, and Heal Pulse. Number of obvious supports in place for its teammates. Skitty can't replicate most of that, but Skitty kind of looks like Audino. So here's what I've got. I have kept Simple Beam on the Skitty. It also gives a second Fake Out user, so I can open up setup opportunities for the 3 setup Pokemon in that way. It does get Simple Beam, so Skitty is very slow, but once I do give something the Simple ability, then, I mean, Snorlax Belly Drum sets it to +6 attack anyway, but Tapu Fini will double up on Calm Minds or Salamence on Dragon Dances. The Trick Room component on the team is gone because I got rid of the Trick Room setter, but Speed Swap Pheromosa at least can make Snorlax or Tapu Fini turbo fast. So I have that one speed control option, but it definitely takes away one of the layers of this team. You can see it's Phytinium Z Pheromosa, so that Focus Blast will get a one-time power-up and not miss. Hopefully I have a decent intuition for how to use that well, because again, never played a VGC format with Z moves before. Skitty also has Icy Wind for that little bit more speed control. I also just wanted an attack that wasn't Fake Out, so that I could click outside of its first turn on the field. I considered no attack Skitty except Fake Out and just putting like Charm on it, but yeah, I don't know. There are a lot more berries on this team than I'm used to as well, because I'm used to playing with Calyrex running around right now. Calyrex doesn't even exist in this generation, and this certainly doesn't look like a restricted format. Is there anything else to point out here? Cute Charm on Skitty could maybe cheese some opponents. It's possible, right? But yeah, that's the whole building process, because I don't know how to build in VGC 2018. Oh, Snatch on Incineroar. I have no idea what I'm going to be doing with that. So Snatch, if you don't know, it's a Dexited move. It doesn't exist anymore, but I think what it does is it has increased priority, and if the opponent doesn't use a status move, if they use a physical or special move or switch, then Snatch does nothing. But if they use a status move, then Incineroar steals the effect. That might not be exactly right. There might be like an arrow or category of moves that it works on or something like that. I'm not used to playing competitively with this move. But imagine like a Sword Stance, right? If an opposing Pokemon uses Sword Stance, then Incineroar uses Sword Stance instead. The opponent doesn't get the boost and Incineroar does. I don't know if it works for stuff like Thunder Wave, and I do not know what it's for on this team. But yeah, this is it. I have no idea how to build in this format, so I took a sample team that had a pink normal type on it and just slapped on a different pink normal type. I'm going to play my first ever games of VGC 2018, and we'll see what I can do with Skitty. And the Mega Salamence should be kind of fun, right? Tapu Fini, Belly Drum Snorlax. There's some cool stuff on this team. Obviously, even though I've done harm to the quality of its construction. Hopefully the ladder isn't dead. I wanted to do something with VGC 2018. Even before I thought of it as my Skitty solution. It's a little unfortunate that this is my very first time playing it right now, but of course, by my own rules, I have to make this video before I can make any others at the moment. So, it is what it is, but hopefully people are actually playing this ladder, because I would like to play it more now, and also more than just this one time. If the ladder is dead, then... Never mind, it's not. Okay, I don't have to finish that thought. Does Mega Swampert get Swift Swim? Is that why it's on a rain team? I think it does. I actually don't entirely remember. This is a heck of a rain team, though. I'm Ice Beam on Pheromosa to help deal with the Salamence. How do I beat Rain? Tapu Fini is kind of nice, but they do have the two grass types. Oh, Ferrothorn is a Pokemon I've not really missed. They also have Tapu Koko. That's probably their Z move user, right? I know that Tapu Koko ran Z moves a lot of the time. I don't know how I beat this. I'd like to be more confident than I am that I do beat this. I kind of want to just aggressively lead Pheromosa Snorlax. Right? Because I can threaten Ice Beam into Salamence, I can threaten All-Out Pummeling into Ferrothorn, I can threaten Speed Swap into Snorlax. Ludicolo will have Fake Out, I assume. Do I have Protect on both of them? Not on Snorlax. Snorlax has Recycle, okay. Yeah, but I'm down to try that. And it's the first game, so I'll bring Skitty. And then I guess Salamence is just my strongest Pokemon. Alright, we'll see what this gets us. They lead Ferrothorn, Ludicolo, so they're threatening Fake Out, and they also have the Ferrothorn. I kind of want to just aggressively go straight for the Belly Drum. I think that's okay. And protect Pheromosa. I think they'll fake that out. Maybe they fake Snorlax out, but I can't protect Snorlax. Also, like, it's just a matter of time before I want to Terastallize one of these Pokemon, and I can't do it, so, bear with me. Well, we got Snorlax to +6. I can Ice Beam the Salamence. Snorlax took 29% from Hydro Pump. I kind of want to recycle, get the berry back, and Ice Beam the Salamence. I'm also thinking about speed swapping Snorlax, but I think this is a little more sound right now. Goes straight from Mega Salamence, but it just drops to an Ice Beam. Pheromosa gets the speed boost from Beast Boost. Oh, it's Hydro Vortex Ludicolo. That was their Zed move user. Good thing I got my berry back, got all the health back immediately. Ferrothorn's back, and they forfeit. I was going to have to choose between Speed Swap and All-Out Pummeling there, but I don't think I was really under any significant pressure to get Snorlax going turbo fast immediately, right? Like, even just clicking Recycle was so powerful in this position because the Ludicolo wasn't doing enough damage. Even with the Zed move, which at this point is consumed, so they can't use it again, it wasn't doing enough damage to break Snorlax, and Pheromosa was just wiping out the Pokemon on the other side. I don't know my all-out pummeling calc into Ferrothorn, but I imagine it would have done a lot. And so I was able to kind of just chill there and play slowly with Snorlax while Pheromosa was just a menace to one side of the opponent's board. That was kind of fun, but I didn't get Skitty into the game. Let's see if I can get another one. Oh, that was quick this time. This will be a Mega Gengar team. So it'll be hard to switch. I haven't switched yet. I also have Komo-o. It could have Clangorous Soul Blaze. Before the move Clangorous Soul that Komo-o uses now, it got a Zed move called Clangorous Soul Blaze that did the same thing, except I think doubled the boosts. And then when they removed Zed moves from the game, they gave Komo-o an ordinary move version of that. Those are the most obvious threats here. Komo-o Clefairy looks like a menace, right? Komo-o will boost with the Zed move. Clefairy will do Clefairy things to cover for it. We know what Clefairy does. And then Mega Gengar will also put me in tough positions by trapping me. I don't know how to beat that with this team. What else is new? Can you snatch a Clangorous Soul Blaze? I wouldn't bet on it. But maybe that's what Incineroar is for. I'm down to test it. I have no idea of this mechanic. I don't want to bring Pheromosa, but I think Pheromosa and Incineroar is too awkward to lead. I could do Tapu Fini. Oh yeah, Tapu Fini threatens Komo-o immediately, and I can start Calm Minding, as long as I don't get taunted. I'll bring Skitty, because it's the Skitty video, and I'll bring Salamence, because it's my best Pokemon. So far, that's been the decision for the back Pokemon in both games. They lead Incineroar and Komo-o, so they can fake out my Incineroar, right? I have no memory of how much speed is on this Incineroar. I just copied the EV spreads from the paste. Looks like not very much. I'm just gonna click Snatch. I don't know what, if anything, it's gonna do here, but we'll find out together. And then the nice thing is Komo-o can't Terastallize, of course. I'm gonna click Calm Mind though with Tapu Fini. No need to rush. Okay, I didn't know Snatch worked on a teammate like that. I don't know if I'd ever clicked that move in a double battle before. I had no idea that Incineroar would copy that boost. That's unreal. My bad. Let's get rid of this Clefairy's Eviolite, and let's get Mega Salamence in. Or regular Salamence. I don't have to Mega Evolve it immediately, although I don't think there's much downside if I do. Tapu Bulu is their only notable physical attacker. Yeah, snatching my own Calm Mind there, that's a new one. I didn't see that coming at all. I'm in danger, right? Komo-o doesn't want to take an Aerolite boosted return. They could go Incineroar to take it better. I could knock off the Bulu slot, and then at least catch Actually, I think what I need to do is pivot to Tapu Fini, right? Because then if Incineroar or Komo-o comes in, I threaten it with Tapu Fini. And if Tapu Bulu stays in, I get it with Salamence. I think that's the correct play there. There's the Incineroar. It'll intimidate my Salamence. I'm removing my Intimidate from the game, but I want that Aerolite power. Clefairy just protects. Third to Incineroar. Okay, reasonable. I can go for a Calm Mind here, I think, and pivot to Incineroar. And I do actually still have Intimidate on Incineroar. I was hoping to land that Intimidate into Tapu Bulu, but what can you do? I think what I can do here is protect Fini and Flare Blitz Bulu. I'm assuming Incineroar doesn't have Parting Shot in this generation, and that's why it's not on this set. That did a lot. Oh, the burn. That's lucky. I mean, I probably just have to pivot around, right? Get Mega Salamence in if I don't get that burn, but now I don't feel like I have to do that. Although I don't think it hurts to get Salamence in here anyway. Helping Hand. Let's see what this Wood Hammer does. It knocks out Tapu Fini. Alright. Well, didn't know that, Calc. But now... let's go Incineroar. They're going for the Komodo stuff, and I might not have the tools to stop them anymore. We're going to go for Snatch. We're going to go for a turn into Komodo. They'll probably redirect it. They actually protect. What does Clefairy do here? Also just protects. Again, I have no idea whether you can snatch a Zed move. It feels intuitively like something you should probably not be able to do. But hey, I've been surprised by Snatch already in this game. Okay, yeah, Clefairy redirects the return, and yeah, there's the Clangorous Soul Blaze. Oh, it does damage. And boosts. It's not double boosts, it just also does damage. I misremembered that. Opponent asks, what is Skitty? Guess they forgot this Pokemon exists. Yeah, Skitty's just gonna... why even fake out when they can follow me? Just gonna Icy Wind. It survives a Clanging Scales. That's that Eviolite boosted bulk, but then it doesn't even KO the Clefairy with Icy Wind. Why people are playing it? People aren't. Just me for a bit. Anyway, there goes Skitty in its battle debut. Opponent says, I saw Delcatty. Well, that's interesting. I would be kind of curious about what a Delcatty team does, except Delcatty is not Pokemon number 300, so just not eligible here in this video. I mean, I could have run them together, but I definitely don't have a team for that. What on earth is this? Is this a legit team? I mean, there's no Mega Evolution. No, there is. There's Mega Camerupt. I mean, it's a Trick Room team, obviously, right? Hypno, Aromatisse, at least one of those gets Trick Room. Mega Camerupt is probably a legit Trick Room attacker. This is surprising to me. It doesn't look like anything I've seen. I don't think it looks like anything in the Nimbasa post, but maybe this is legit. It's not that crazy to me, actually, that it might be. What do you do about Trick Room with this team? Well, I would have my own Trick Room, but I removed it. Tapu Fini should be massively threatening, though, to all of Camerupt, Buzzwole, and Beware. Might have... the Aurorus matchup feels like a mixed bag, but... let's lead Tapu Fini, actually. Oh, and Snorlax. Snorlax underspeeds Camerupt. So I should bring that in the back, I think. Let's lead Skitty, Tapu Fini, and bring Snorlax in the back. And then Mega Salamence is really good here, except into Aurorus and Aromatisse. I could bring Incineroar. I'm gonna bring Mega Salamence. I'm definitely getting the feeling that, kind of like a restricted format, my Mega is just my best Pokemon, and when I don't know what to do, it's a good idea to bring it. That's something that feels pretty intuitive about this format. Let's go for a Calm Mind and a Fake Out into Hypno. Camerupt Mega evolves. Hypno, I assume, went for Trick Room there. Okay. Oh, Inner Focus. I didn't realize it gets that. I haven't seen a Hypno in a while. Alright, well, let's click Muddy Water. Wait, does Camerupt get Bloom Doom? No, it doesn't have a Zed Crystal, it has a Mega Stone. Okay, Muddy Water. I'm gonna click Simple Beam into Tapu Fini. I might as well. Actually, it might have been worth getting another Calm Mind here after that. They have Flatter, so they can heal their... That's cool tech, not heal. They can boost their Camerupt with Flatter, and then my own Misty Terrain prevented that from getting confused. Aurorus will definitely underspeed Tapu Fini, given that they're running hard Trick Room here. I'm gonna Protect. And then Skitty is really awkwardly positioned with nothing to do, so I guess I'll switch to Snorlax. Doesn't feel amazing. But hey, first hard Trick Room game in this format. There's the Flatter Tech again. Snorlax will underspeed Aurorus, but... I have high horsepower, actually. No but. Calm Mind. And I'll just high horsepower Aurorus. Decent damage, I think. They set Reflect. They set Reflect with Aurorus, and they're still flattering. But that, I mean, Tapu Fini with the Simple Beam. It's not in range to eat its Aguav Berry yet because it doesn't have Gluttony, unlike Snorlax. But that's now +3. I think I'm down to click Muddy Water. I might as well get through the Trick Room, actually. But I will click High Horsepower into Aurorus. Doesn't KO through the Reflect. They go for Blizzard. When did they set Hail? Is that what Aurorus did the first turn it was out? Oh, Aurorus gets Snow Warning. That's another Pokemon that I haven't seen in a while. You ever just kind of sit here one day and get confronted with how much you've forgotten about these games? Anyway, Muddy Water. +3. And I'll just click Return into Hypno. I would like to knock it out before it can get another Trick Room up. Success. And who's last? Buzzwole. Might be faster than Tapu Fini, but I doubt it. I'll just Moonblast and return. And the Moonblast picks up the KO. Combine Tapu Fini looking really strong in that game. Obviously, this is low ladder. These are my first games ever in this format, but that was cool. This looks like another Mega Gengar team. I'm definitely using a part of my brain that I'm not used to using in a laddering video, playing this Gen 7 format. Alright, this looks like a Mega Gengar team. Melodic, Mamoswine, Tapu Bulu, Terrakion, and Incineroar. Also, by the way, I didn't play much competitive Pokemon at all in Gen 7. I wasn't playing Smogon OU then either, but I hadn't picked up VGC yet. I did play Smogon Ubers for a little while. In fact, that was the inspiration for the VGC Legends series that's going on the channel, probably still right now when this goes up. There was a summer where I passed some time by just building a bunch of Gen 7 Ubers teams around different legendaries. And it was basically the same thing as I'm doing with the VGC Legends series, except at that time I went in Pokedex order instead of random order. Anyway, and it was Smogon singles Ubers. What am I doing here? Who knows? We've learned that Tapu Bulu can be a menace to Tapu Fini. Makes sense, of course. The Mamoswine is a real menace to my Mega Salamence. There's not one weird trick I can use to beat this, unfortunately. Let's lead Incineroar. I like the Intimidate immediately into some of their physical threats. Mega Salamence, Tapu Fini, Skitty. The order's a little bit scrambled there because I just ran out of time to think because I was rambling. Does Melodic get competitive this gen? It does. Okay. Ooh, Adrenaline Orb. That's a good tech. Oh, I led both of my Intimidators into that. It's a +4 already. Amazing. Okay, Fake Out. Let's just go for a Dragon Dance. And try to land the strongest return that I can into it after that. They Mega Evolve their Gengar immediately. Melodic protects around the Fake Out. Makes sense. I have Icy Wind on Gengar. Of course they do. All those sample teams I looked at, almost all of them had Icy Wind on their Gengar. So that one I should have known. But hey, very first games in this format, like I keep saying. I'll just do what I can to attack the Melodic. My Pokemon are trapped, but I think this one's probably a quick L. As the Gengar is still faster. They miss Salamence with the Icy Wind. Do I get a crit here? Do I get the mother of all crits? Don't need it. Alright, still alive, just barely. Let's go Tapu Fini. Try to put the pressure on them immediately. Here's Terrakion. Mega Gengar. Actually, this doesn't work because I know that Mega Gengar is faster than Mega Salamence. Oh, maybe I get a Muddy Water accuracy drop this turn while I protect Salamence. It's possible. Might also need it into Terrakion, though. There's the Icy Wind. Poison Jab Terrakion, makes sense, covering for fairies. Got a Life Orb. No accuracy drop. They can still miss, they have before. I was thinking about Earthquake, but then I'd have to protect Tapu Fini. And the most likely outcome is just the Salamence gets knocked out before Tapu Fini gets to move. Unfortunately, Tapu Fini also gets knocked out before Tapu Fini gets to move. And yeah, I beat the Melodic, but the rest of their team was just too much. This is really strong. Melodic makes a lot of sense to me in this format. A little bit less power creep. And Intimidate Incineroar is the hot new tech. Plus a lot of Mega Salamence running around that have Intimidate before they Mega Evolve. Anyway. I thought for a moment there about how best to remove Skitty, but they figured it out. That's 2 losses. Play to 1 more. Mega Metagross team. Didn't look very closely at these. They're pretty far down the list. Don't really know how these play, although this one, you can draw some inferences. Nice Sand Core. And I'm not getting any burns into any of... Well, Landorus actually is not affected by terrain, but I'm not getting any burns into either of these guys with the Tapu Fini Misty terrain up. How do I beat Metagross with this team? So Mega Metagross can be intimidated. It doesn't have clear body anymore after it Mega Evolves, but it does before. This is probably a team where it would be... This is probably a matchup where it would be good to have Trick Room on my team. But we know how that turned out. Tapu Fini's decent here, except into the Zapdos. Pheromosa all-out pummeling to remove the Tyranitar is something worth thinking about, or the Incineroar. And Ice Beam threatens the Zapdos. I could do Tapu Fini Pheromosa lead. I don't think that's crazy. I think I have to bring Incineroar to this one. And I have been bringing Skitty to every game. I feel like I should probably keep that up. Even though Skitty is really not doing much. A lot of normal types in the early gens have amazing move pools, and it's just a question of whether they have the stats and whatnot to make use of them. Skitty, it's got, well, it has like no stats, but it's got some stuff in its move pool, but not as much as you might think. Okay, they have Fake Out Pressure immediately. Makes sense. Makes sense. I think they're gonna Mega Evolve Metagross. However, if I switch Incineroar in here, then I believe the Intimidate will go before the Mega Evolution, so I don't want to do that. I want to be able to Intimidate Metagross after it Mega Evolves. I think I just double Protect here, to be honest. Combine Tapu Fini might be nice, but I think it's too aggressive for this position. They also Fake Out into Tapu Fini. They also don't Mega Evolve. I'm going to try to set Tapu Fini up here, actually, though, because they might want to then Mega Evolve Metagross for the extra power. And at that point, I can Intimidate it. And I'm going to go straight for all-out pummeling into Incineroar. Hopefully they let me get away with this. I don't know if I need the all-out pummeling, but hey, I don't want to miss. Might be better to save it for Tyranitar. That might be more sound, but I don't know. This format's brand new to me. We do get rid of the Incineroar. They do Mega Evolve the Metagross. Is that going to just take a KO immediately? Nope. Iron Head does a lot to Tapu Fini. Unfortunately, Tapu Fini doesn't have any recovery except its berry. That Iron Head does a lot. But I think if I go for another Calm Mind here and I Intimidate Metagross, they can probably knock Tapu Fini into berry range, and then I can think about attacking with it. They have their Tapu Fini, which in theory should discourage me from bringing Incineroar in, maybe. They're setting up their own Calm Mind. Actually, I could start clicking Snatch now. I'm down. Let's try it. I also have Fake Out Pressure. They might want to protect. Although they just protected their Metagross. So maybe this wasn't the turn to click Snatch. Maybe I should have Flare Blitz Metagross or something. They just Stomping Tantrum, knock out Incineroar with a crit. They get a Muddy Water drop into Tapu Fini. I'm hoping for a Moonblast drop into theirs. I do get it. Now it's tricky. I mean, Pheromosa is not very good into these Pokemon. I'm going to go Skitty. Metagross still at -1 attack. I think I can get away with another Calm Mind. And fake out into Tapu Fini, and I'm looking to create a position where I can knock out their Tapu Fini. Although, I might be letting the Metagross get away with too much. They flinched me with Iron Head. Okay, that wasn't part of the plan. It's time to start clicking Muddy Water, I think. And... Icy Wind. The crit, okay. Skitty only takes half from that Moonblast. The Icy Wind doesn't really accomplish anything. Not loving that I picked that move on Skitty. But this is the thing. I wanted to... My first thought for running an attack on Skitty was, oh, normal stab. And then, like, what does it get? Double Edge? I don't want it taking damage when it's all in on bulk with the Eviolite. What else is there to run on Skitty? So I thought, alright, might as well be Icy Wind. Anyway, I don't think I ever beat this Tapu Fini now. Unfortunately. Alright. Well, for my first ever games of VGC 2018, with a team that I tore apart to force a cat onto it, that was pretty fun. I'm actually going to get one more, and I'm going to lead Skitty and a setup attacker, no matter what, and just go for aggressive, simple setup. We're going to do a send-off like I do in the VGC Legends videos sometimes, where I have a preset plan. It'll be Skitty Fini or Skitty Salamence, though, depending on the matchup. Yeah, maybe I could have cooked harder with Skitty, but honestly, if you want to try, good luck. It's not an easy Pokemon to cook with. Got another Komodo team here, with a Metagross, with a Tapu Koko. I guess I'll Salamence this. Skitty Salamence. Incineroar. The Intimidate. I could bring Pheromosa to this, right? Focus Blast and Ice Beam gives me a threat into Incineroar or Moongus if they try to do their stuff. On the other hand, Tapu Fini is my best Komodo answer. And I could break Moongus and Incineroar in other ways. Alright, Fini it is. It is definitely fun to play with a few Pokemon here that don't exist in Scarlet and Violet. Tapu Fini and Pheromosa were both in Sword and Shield when I first started playing VGC formats. Although I didn't go to an event until Scarlet and Violet. But when I first started playing the formats, those were available. But I haven't used either in quite some time. Okay, they lead the Incineroar Metagross. They get an Intimidate immediately. Metagross's clear body means I don't really get to intimidate them back. We're probably just going to trade Fake Outs here. I'm going to say they cover for that with Protect, and I'm just going to go straight for the simple. Okay, my mouse is a little out of control there. Just going to go straight for the simple beam setup. They Mega Evolve immediately. That suggests to me they didn't Protect. Just Meteor Mash into Skitty, but Skitty takes that nicely with Eviolite. And it flinches because it got faked out. Makes sense. Alright, well, I've established Salamence as the greater threat, I would think, so I may yet get the Simple Beam off. I'll Mega Evolve. Go for another... I might as well start attacking, I think. I can think about Dragon Dance next turn. Kind of want to Earthquake, but... I'll knock out my own Skitty if I do. I'll Dragon Dance, actually. They Bullet Punch, knock Skitty out. I should have just Earthquaked, I guess. At least I get to +1 attack now. And yeah, Incineroar running U-turn in this format strongly suggests to me that they don't have Parting Shot. I am now at +2 speed, and my opponent continues to just stack the field with ground weaknesses. Incineroar doesn't have Protect. I'll go Tapu Fini because it does. And Protect Earthquake. Didn't get the Simple Beam into Salamence. That's unfortunate, but we'll see what Mega Salamence can do here. Knock out Koko, do a lot to Metagross. Metagross hits back. Nope, it attacks Fini. That doesn't do very much. I think that's because they have Incineroar and probably Komodo in the back, and so Fini is a threat to their longer term plan. So with that in mind, I'll switch to Incineroar here. This also gives me an Intimidate into Metagross. And I'll protect Salamence on the under the Fake Out pressure. Metagross goes for Meteor Mash into Tapu Fini, but now that's Incineroar. And I guess I can just... The Incineroar is not much of a threat unless it gets a lucky Flare Blitz burn. I think I can just Flare Blitz Metagross. Is Knockoff worth it? I don't think so, because I'm guessing they have Komodo in the back, and its held item is a Z Crystal. I was going to Flare Blitz Metagross and just Dragon Dance there, because I didn't feel like Salamence was threatened by Incineroar, but they forfeit, so we don't have to play that out. Fun last game. Skitty still didn't really accomplish a darn thing, but what can you do? There was a lot stacked against it this video. But anyway, that's 300 videos. That's probably a bigger number than I thought I'd get to early on. Yeah, no question. I don't know how much longer I'll sustain the pace that I'm at right now, but surely eventually we'll get to 400, and that might be a tricky one to figure out as well, depending on state of the game at that time. And this being my first games of VGC 2018, I'm really enjoying it. I especially like these matchups where I can kind of sit back a little bit. There was that first game where I wanted to get Snorlax rolling with the speed swap, but I was able to take my time because Snorlax was very hard for the opponent to knock out, and Pheromosa was such a threat into like half of their team. And then this game, similarly, I was going to click Dragon Dance with Salamence this turn instead of attacking because Salamence was not especially threatened by anything on the field with Incineroar supporting it. If I play some more VGC 2018, I'll probably be looking for a team where I can play this way. It's sort of an interesting approach to the game. So maybe some kind of bulky Snorlax setup again, or I'll look for more Mega Salamence teams. I don't know, but yeah, just kind of sitting back, playing it patiently, and creating openings to attack. It's kind of a fun game flow that I'm sure it definitely exists in Scarlet and Violet, but I don't know. This feels less hectic than at least the current high-powered Scarlet and Violet format does. Anyway, that was 300 videos. Please do stick around for the next 100, whatever those end up looking like. Like and subscribe, and back to your regularly scheduled programming next time.